I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul.
Fans won't like this, by the way.
I don't like it.
No,
either.
I don't like it either. But the way that Joshua will see it is as a money grab. He'll see it as an easy money grab. But at this stage of his career, is it a fight he should be taking? Nah.
The guy who finally put an end to this Jake Paul thing, right? If he goes out there and puts Jake Paul in the dirt, he's going to be heralded. He's going to be a hero.
Eddie Hearn's warning. Eddie Hearn has not minced words about Jake Paul even considering a fight with Anthony Joshua. The Matchroom promoter says this isn't a playful stunt or a Netflix event designed for views. It's a catastrophic mistake. Hearn warns that stepping in with a former unified heavyweight champion is completely different from anything Paul has faced.
Anthony Joshua 50-50 fight, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitates a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But, as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world...
Size, power, and world-class experience, he says, would overwhelm Jake instantly. According to Hearn, this is the kind of matchup that doesn't just derail momentum, it risks ending Paul's entire boxing career. Negotiations and reality check reports indicate that Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua are deep into negotiations for a heavyweight showdown in Miami.
From our point of view, if we're going to have a run-out fight, why not run out against Jake Paul, you know, for a lot of money? So there's ongoing conversations there. I can't tell you it's close. I can't tell you we've seen a contract. But if he genuinely wants to fight Anthony Joshua, I don't see why we wouldn't have a chance to do that fight. But, you know, our focus is on really a charge for the World Heavyweight Championship and a charge at Tyson Fury. We can't control that either. So, like I said, that's why I said...
Set to be streamed globally on Netflix. It would be a massive leap for Paul, who has mostly faced unorthodox or aging opponents. While Joshua, a two-time unified heavyweight champion, last fought in September 2024, Eddie Hearn confirmed that talks have taken place, acknowledging that the idea was originally planned for much later. But with Jake Paul's fight against Gervonta Davis cancelled, the timeline may be moving up. Still, Hearn stresses the obvious.
Jake Paul weekend, I feel a bit dirty saying that because I'm not a fan of his, but he did say after the fight that he's sort of having DMs or he's dropping text messages to AJ. They're having a chat about a potential fight. What's your view on that, Eddie?
Well, look, he's calling out Gervonta Davis, who is a 135-pound lightweight, and he's calling out Anthony Joshua, that's a heavyweight monster. I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul. Hopefully not literally, but it's that dangerous that, you know, it's a fight that I don't think should really happen, if I'm honest. I would say about Jake Paul, and I've said this in a couple of interviews today, I do think you start after giving him a margin of respect. You know, I think this guy is going through the motions, he's putting the hard spars in. He just went 10 rounds with, yes, a washed-up fighter, but a former world champion that did train for that fight. But they're very clever in terms of the opponents that they pick. They're not going to gamble unless the money's out of control. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul, wanted to move forward with an Anthony Joshua fight. Honestly, AJ's coming tonight. He's not exactly looking at Jake Paul going, oh, that's my dream opponent. Would he go in there and give him a hiding for, you know...
Joshua's true priority is reclaiming the heavyweight world title or securing a blockbuster fight with Tyson Fury. While the Paul matchup could happen, Hearn makes it clear that it is not at the top of Joshua's agenda. The focus remains on rebuilding Joshua's path back to championship glory, not creating a celebrity spectacle. The mismatch problem Eddie Hearn has further expanded on why he's concerned. He says a potential Paul versus Joshua fight isn't just lopsided, it's dangerous. The gap in size, punching power, and high-level experience is enormous. And Hearn, believes that making the fight solely for commercial value ignores the severe risks involved. He warns that this isn't a hypothetical danger.
There's a breaking story on Ring Magazine. Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul are finalising a deal for a heavyweight fight on Netflix in December in Miami. Sources tell the Ring Magazine's Mike Coppinger. What do you make of that?
Well, Anthony Joshua is talking about wanting warm-up fights before going into bigger fights, but look, it's prize fighting at the end of the day, and the way that Joshua will see it, and Matchroom and all the team, the fans won't like this, by the way.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it either. But the way that Joshua will see it is as a money grab. He'll see it as an easy money grab, but at this stage of his career, is it a fight he should be taking? Nah, definitely not.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be licensed because it's a really dangerous fight.
Do we know if it's an exhibition or a real fight?
We don't know yet, but I don't think they should be allowing Anthony Joshua in a ring with Jake Paul. It's dangerous for him.
It can't be a real fight, because if it's a real fight, Anthony Joshua would take Jake Paul's head clean off. So it can't be a real fight.
Well, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah,
I don't want to see a man decapitated in Miami
yeah,
in a ring in December.
Listen, and that's what will happen. So,
out like this could seriously damage Jake Paul's career, both physically and professionally, and should be approached with extreme caution, if at all. Safety and sanctioning questions. Mike Coppinger from the Ring has expressed similar concerns. He reports that the deal is in advanced stages but still faces major hurdles, involving broadcasters and sanctioning bodies. According to Coppinger, Jake may be pursuing this fight mainly for the huge payday, not because it's a sensible matchup. Joshua represents a drastic jump in class size and power, raising real questions about whether the fight can be conducted safely. He adds that it's still unclear whether the matchup would be a
weight ranking to the winner of this fight. Do you think they deserve one?
I don't think so. I don't know why. It's hard enough for real athletes, for real boxers to gain those rankings, and then suddenly this Solomon Tuesday decides to give double ranking because he's getting some greens in his, in his back pocket. No, that is
real professional fight or merely an exhibition. Without official sanctioning details, nobody knows what rules would govern the bout, whether it will count on their records or how regulators would handle such an unusual clash. Derek Chisora blasts the idea. Veteran heavyweight Derek Chisora has openly criticized the idea of Jake Paul being awarded a WBC ranking. Chisora argues that even entertaining such a possibility disrespects the sport and all the fighters who've earned their rankings the hard way. For him, Paul, facing someone like Joshua, or being ranked anywhere near that level, is nothing short of absurd. Roy Jones Jr. breaks it.
Change subjects just a little bit here, and Anthony Joshua, there's rumours circulating he could be fighting Jake Paul next. One, do you think it's good for boxing? And two, do you think the fight will happen?
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he'd probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than he will fight anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do? I mean, not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if he want to get a good win to put him back on the scene, that's a perfect win. You get a lot of money doing it.
Will Jake Paul become a world champion?
No.
Why?
I think if they make him fight tough opponents, guys with experience, those guys will beat him. Now, if you catch somebody like myself at the end of their career, or somebody like Tyson, Lee Carter in their career, the chances are much higher. Because now it becomes more of a 50-50. You got a guy who's better than him, but the age factor. You understand me? And that's the only way to balance it for him to make it a 50-50 fight. Somebody who's on his level at the same age, those guys have too much experience. Yeah. You understand me? So he's not going to beat those guys. Yeah. But you find a guy who is past his prime, who has a mentality further than his, but past the prime, it kind of...
Down. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. offers a more structured take. He says the fight could happen if Joshua genuinely wants it, but it has to make sense from both a competitive and business standpoint. Jones doesn't hesitate when comparing the two fighters. He points out what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou.